Okay, we're here. We're here and we're queer. I think exactly one of us are.
Which
Are
is fitting
we?
because X-Men.
X Men Last Stand. I was missing for the
X-Men.
watch party for this. I'm so disappointed. I'm so sad. But I did watch it on my own. It took me 4 hours to watch. This movie
Lily,
is.
Lily was like, I'm getting receipts on
Oh
every
yeah,
frame.
I took so many notes. I took an absurd amount of notes. Um, And I honestly did a lot of research for it too. Honestly, I was taking not a lot, like a little bit, maybe more than I usually do, because there were certain things I wanted to make sure I had the exact right receipts about. Because this movie has layers to it. It's not good, right? But it's also hardly the worst thing we've seen so far. I was expecting to hate it more, and then I watched it and I was like, in a lot of ways, this is a relatively competent action movie. It's just the script is like
Terrible.
horrible. It's not entirely insufferable to watch at every like fucking second, every fucking frame, in the way that like Hulk was. It's
Yeah,
like
the worst part is there's like a little competence.
yeah. Okay, so before I even started, I was double checking some information about the directors, right? Because we talked about Bryan Singer, who had a lot of substance abuse problems with X2. It was shocking that movie was as good as it was. Uh he currently has quite a few like it was like around the time Bohemian Rhapsody came out actually though that's when like allegations started coming out around about him, so relatively recently in the scale of our timeline. But at this point though, he was on the outs with the studio. So they actually brought in a different director to direct this, Brett Ratner, which I you guys have not even an ounce of recognition on your faces. I
Yeah,
know,
no,
I
no,
know.
no,
So
No, no,
not
no,
at all.
no.
so
I don't know
It's
people. And you know this.
Brett, it's a
no.
horrifically ironic if you understand these two stories. Just horrifically ironic because Brett Ratner would go on to also be canceled for very similar reasons, right? But at the time though, he was a director that made movies your dad liked, right? Like so he made Rush Hour. Later on he
Okay.
would go on to make The Revenant. He is a director on the Lego Ninjago movie for some reason. That was an odd
What?
credit. That was an odd credit that I
That
found while
that
I was
that's
looking through.
odd.
Um, and most recently, he was the director for the Melania documentary, aka the Trump
Oh,
propaganda documentary.
oh no.
So, basically, what happened with Brett Ratner, right? He was a kind of mediocre to sometimes pretty good action director, who, like, in my opinion, I think his movies are fun, but like honestly, not terribly smart. They're stupid. They're stupid action movies, right? That's very much what like how you know them as. Then he gets his own allegations. He gets allegations of his own, and they seem pretty credible. So he's also on the outs with Hollywood and with the studios. So it gets to the point where basically the Melania movie was like the only project he was getting. He does this in
Oh,
hopes it'll get him in, goods with Amazon and all these guys. Um, it's like a desperate last gasp, but also no one even. It's not even like a good propaganda piece. It's like a very poor like documentary. It's just
I was going to
awful.
say vain, but that works too.
Yeah, it's so it's kind of horrifically ironic, honestly, right? They kick out Bryan Singer for substance abuse problems, get Brett Ratner, and then both of these men separately have sexual misconduct allegations brought up against them in ways
Yikes.
that are pretty credible. Um so
Oh
very
no.
ironic, very ironic. Wow, Hollywood is so normal and good, isn't it?
I hate
Oh, I've
Wow.
Hollywood.
never thought that of Hollywood.
Wow. So that's the like preface before we even get into what this movie is, because in my opinion, I know I was comparing it to Blade 2 in the green room there. uh it's pretty similar in a lot of ways, but kind of has the opposite problem, right? Where Blade 2 is like a good director kind of given material that
Poor
was like not very
execution.
good, right?
Mhm.
And having to like inherit all that baggage and not really doing very well with it. This is a kind of bad director getting relatively good material and completely fumbling it, but like still some of it kind of shines through at times, so you still get some good, like still get some good things like here and there, but for the most part it holistically just doesn't work. There's a lot wrong with it, a lot going on here, even as again moment to moment it's enjoyable. The action scenes action well, and even the dumb moments, at least I remember a lot of the dumb moments. I remember Magneto moving the Golden Gate Bridge, even if I think it's really stupid.
The Juggernaut,
It was
bitch.
overkill.
It was overkill, and also definitely wouldn't have worked. He snapped every single support structure on that thing before he moved it.
There's a reason the support structures are there.
Yeah. The support structures
Honestly,
are
would've been-
the bridge. It's not.
Honestly, would have been more realistic. Why am I talking about realism in an X-Men movie?
Stolen a boat. It would have been easier.
I was just going to say, you could just levitate a bus over.
Yeah, that was all this shit. You didn't even have that many people to require a whole bridge. It was a bus worth of people. Like,
maybe two, which you'd be able to carry still.
yeah. But this is like, I'm actually wanting to look at my notes for this one. That's how you know I have a lot to say. I have.
Did you put a
10
quote
pages of
in?
notes. I have many notes. I have several quotes, but I think I'm the Juggernaut bitch honestly should be the one. I put in some other ones, but now I think that's the perfect one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's the quote I have written down.
Yeah,
that's the one I had too, so it's
Yeah.
unanimous.
Yeah, I think it has to be that. The movie starts off with CGI de-aged Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen. They really have not, like, did not get it quite right, did they? It looks pretty. Their faces look like they're floating. It's
Yeah.
it already is starting off with some shots where you're like, ooh, yikes. We also meet young Jean Grey, and this is the last time that Jean Grey will actually be a character within this film. Last time she'll have a personality.
Yeah.
Except when she shows up begging to,
begging
to be saved.
Begging for death.
As if she's got begging for death is the only time.
Jean Grey is largely a plot device within this movie, where she doesn't really have any agency of her own. She's kind of just being moved around by all the other players in this film, being vied over, and just she has really very few lines, she doesn't have a personality in this. I'm going to be comparing this a little bit to the Dark Phoenix saga in the comics, keeping in mind that I haven't read that, so I'm kind of going off secondhand information here. But this is, needless to say, really, really, really different from how it goes down in the comics. Like, really different. So first off, Logan for some reason is playing the part of Scott.
That explains why they killed him off so quickly.
Yeah. Scott is not killed off in the Dark Phoenix saga. He is like the main one.
I would assume not.
Looking at trying to get Jean to come to the other side and be good again.
So he was never supposed to die in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing is that they don't have to put down Jean like Old Yeller at the end. Spoilers, I guess. She just like locks the fuck in the comics.
She locks in and says, like, you know what? I am more than these powers.
She locks the
also,
fuck
I
in
still
and
control
then
all of these powers.
She locks the fuck in, and then she like does a self-sacrifice, but she's fine. Then the Madeline Pryor arc happens and she's like fine.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very different.
Incredibly different. One, it gives Jean way more agency, and it puts way more focus on her relationship with Scott. That's the main driving force with her. So the fact that they fuck up both of those things to no one's benefit is insane.
That actually is insane. Damn, that's actually so bad. Why do they want to?
Why do you make it worse?
These characters to be shells. Why would they purposely
make it worse on purpose?
Right? Yeah.
Because they don't respect these characters.
No. I have beef with a lot of
Literally
versions of
everyone.
Scott, but like this one especially for sure. He dies so oddly that a lot of people I know of did not realize he was
It's
dead at
just
first until
it's
they
just
really
not
pointed it out.
believable.
Yeah, I'm
He
gonna
kind of
be
dies
honest.
just
I kind
off
of thought like he
screen. He's like
was.
a major character.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be entirely honest. I was like, okay, so he's like not dead. He's totally coming back, right? He never did.
The movies give like don't even give a single shit about like his relationship with Jean. It's all like the Jean X Logan show, and it's very frustrating.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
Jean X Logan is just not a good ship. It
No.
like just isn't right. Like I'm sorry. I know that women find Hugh Jackman attractive, but
But Logan.
but Logan But Logan, Hugh Jackman is like a
Well, and
sensitive, kind fellow. Logan looks like he always smells.
Yeah, he
he's
probably
got
actually just does
just
smell.
I mean, Wolverine, right? I mean, imagine the
I
actual animal. I'm just imagining that's probably what it's like.
I literally I literally cannot imagine picking a comic accurate Logan over a comic accurate Scott Summers. I cannot
And
even
also
fucking fathom it. No movie
and also secondly,
version,
she's happy in a
Scott's a
committed
prick.
relationship, and I feel like also with Scott's death, there would be some heavy grief.
There is the thing. She like break it's like the first breakdown she has in the movie is over
I
realizing she killed
I
him.
know, but
And but for
but
some reason the like movie is still obsessed with enforcing Logan X Gene.
a- and that's where it's bad because
Yeah.
it's like I don't see her character rebounding like that at all.
No.
Nah.
Absolutely
No,
not.
it's
Absolutely not.
completely out of character.
Yeah, they like quickly
Like,
killed him off just because I feel like they, like director wise, would just say like, all right, we should probably try
Mhm.
pushing this as a couple, but Scott makes things complicated. Let's just kill him.
off them, just off
This
them.
is awful.
Yeah.
This is legitimately why a good amount of people are just like fuck it. We're shipping Skogan now. Like fuck it. This movie unironically
The
like
stuff.
created a lot of Skogan shippers. Is the funny thing out of spite, I swear. But yeah. Um I kind of want my instinct is generally to discuss this almost as two separate movies, right? Like on one hand discuss the Dark Phoenix saga and on the other hand discuss the like Cure plot point.
You know what? Yeah, yeah, I'm okay
So,
with handling it like that.
Yeah.
yeah, so
Because they
yeah,
kind of were a bit separated, even
for
though they
sure.
tried to take it together.
When they did take it together, it like sucked because it's kind of like Jean Grey is like almost propaganda for the Cure. If you take it like seriously, actually, where it's like, oh, this is like an incredibly powerful mutant that has no control whatsoever over her powers, right? There's no like Phoenix
She's the
Force. There's no
poster
like
child as
sci-fi like
to
cosmic
give
shit that like
reasons.
gave her like an upgrade. Nothing, none of that, right? Like this is just her how she is, and
Yeah.
she nearly destroyed a city, and she has absolutely zero control whatsoever. Yes, a cure would have absolutely benefited her. Holy shit.
I can definitely understand the people being afraid of her.
I mean, same with Rogue, just in a more subtle way as well.
That is the thing, right? Like this
Yeah.
the cure causes we're like crossing over too much. We'll discuss that when we get there. But I think
Yeah.
Rogue and Jean are like but Rogue and
They're
Jean
on the
are
extreme
yeah.
side.
It's
They're the extreme examples
they
on why people
cause
would argue that this is necessary to
yep,
actually be in play.
but they cause the metaphor to break down is the issue.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, just more about Jean. Actually, one thing I wanted to mention here, I wanted to roast her outfit because I roasted Elektra's outfit, and I think this is worse.
That's fair. That's fair.
The outfit, the corset, like doesn't fit. I understand not wanting to tight lace your actress, but instead, it's like not even flush with her body whatsoever.
It's very unflattering.
So the you know what they should have done is not have her wear the corset if they weren't even gonna bother making it fit her, or get her one that fits, or make her one that fits, or even just lacing it properly, right? Don't wear a corset then, idiots. Don't put that as a part of her costume. It looks bad. The rest of it looks really cheap, like they got it from fucking Target, honestly. And she looks more like Scarlet Witch. She looks more like how you feel like
Target, more
Scarlet Witch
like
should be
freaking
dressed.
Party City Halloween.
Yeah, yeah. It's really quite ugly. Oh,
Funny enough, I actually didn't even notice it that much.
well, it's on the background behind us, so you can really appreciate it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. By the point we got to that section of the movie, I was just like, can we just wrap up?
Like, okay, wrap it up. Come on, kill her already. Come on, let's do this. Finish it
I
up.
know how this is. Yeah,
Finish it
I
up.
know how this is going. Let it go.
Yep. It's it's just, I'm even just struggling to even just think of more things to say. I have my notes right here, but I'm like, oh, is it even worth it? Yes, it is. Another little sexist thing that I noticed. Okay, so she wakes up, right? So they find her at the side of the lake. Scott is dead. They don't know this yet. Though they have reason to suspect. They
Yeah.
pick her up, take her over
She
to the
says
mansion.
Rosebud.
She's unconscious, and she wakes up, right? First thing happens when she wakes up, Logan stares at her tits.
Yeah.
Yay, I love it. Wow. Yep, Logan sure is the one, isn't he? Wow, sure is a nice cool guy.
Yeah.
Second thing, she immediately like makes out with him, which
Makes out is putting it light.
it
That's
really
putting
is.
it
It's very much
mildly.
putting it mildly. But I remember just that happening. I had to like pause the movie and like take a second, because
Well,
just a woman being sexually promiscuous as like a warning sign that like, oh, she's being taken over by a dark power,
something's
is
wrong,
like,
or just something's wrong.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
there was
was
many different bits of like, this feels messy.
nice
Well,
little
and in
sexism
contrast,
sandwich.
to X-Men 2, I got the impression that Logan's way more respectful than that
For
and had
sure.
a little more self-control.
Seychelles mentioning that Scott, Logan, and Jean have a threesome in Krakoa. They do. It's great.
Hell yeah.
That's fair.
It's this movie has very little respect for Jean as a character, not just comic book Jean, but even just this version of Jean. She's not humanized in the slightest. There are like there's sexist moment after sexist moment with her. Just
Treated as like just plot armor, plot device, but there's no substance
no
of
substance
her character to move forward or
whatsoever.
reasoning for like anything of what she's doing.
And every character that comes into contact with her is made either stupider or more evil
Out of
by
character.
this. Right? Like you have Professor X being like, oh, I guess I had to seal away her powers and fuck with her
I
mind in order to,
mentally,
yeah,
yes.
which granted is a thing that comic book professor does to a few students actually. Comic book like Professor X is just kind of a morally gray cutie pie like that. What can I say? Uh, but in this movie, played by the kindly Patrick Stewart, felt very out of place. And you will feel that way even like more so when we get to the like first class timeline. And just the whole thing with Magneto. Why is Magneto so fucking stupid in this movie? Why is he so incredibly brain dead in this film? Like,
Because the plot demands it.
so okay, I need to describe this scene, right? So him and Professor X separately, their own teams roll
Professor
up
X is a
to
jerk.
Professor X is an absolute jerk. They roll up
Yeah.
separately with their teams over to Jean Grey's house, right? She's going crazy. Professor X is trying to talk to her, being like, okay, you can't control your powers, shit's getting dangerous, we need to like do something.
Go sicko mode.
Yeah, and then Magneto's like, he's trying to manipulate you, sire. Just like being the evil vizier, just like show him your power, and then she kills Professor X, and he's like, wait a minute, and he's like, what? She killed Professor X? Oh my god, I didn't expect that. Anyway, I'm gonna like go take her and like manipulate her and use her power for my own. I'm built different though, so nothing bad's gonna happen to me. And then all the bad things happen because he does this, and at the end of the movie, he's like, what have I done? And it's like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god, Magneto, you're so fucking stupid. Oh my god.
Do we
Later
honestly
on has
think
the
like maybe this
audacity.
movie like they just literally made Jean the reason why everyone decides to just
Everyone's
fall
IQ
off the
just
cliff?
lowers. Like maybe it's her. Maybe she's doing it. Maybe she's lowering the
Yeah.
IQs of everyone. It's part of her mutant powers. Like
Oh yeah, but like Magneto literally at the end has the audacity to say, "Oh, what did I create? Or what have I done?"
the audacity. It's like oh my god. Yeah, wow. As if
When
the
Magneto's literally one of the few people who's like the most assured person whenever he makes a decision.
he's supposed to at least be smart. He's supposed to at least be smart. Like he's supposed to be,
Well,
there
yeah.
there are things he does in the movie where it's like he's a jerk or mean or cold hearted. Where I'm like, okay, there's some versions of Magneto are like that, right? Like as much as I
Yeah.
disliked the moment where he left
Especially
Raven after she got like tranked, after she
Oh
got like
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
after she got like cured, leaves her there, which is completely opposite to what he does in '97, the far superior X-Men
uh,
like thing.
properties
Fantastic X-Men, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
adaptation. That's
Yeah, yeah, where in that one, like in that one, sorry, Storm gets cured and he's pissed. He nearly
what have
kills
you
like
Yeah,
the
he would
people
be
at the court.
upset.
He's like
humans?
he is so upset and just in this one he's just like oh, you saved me, I guess. Bye.
Magneto's all
Like
about, getting justice for, mutant kind. He would not let that slide.
even just the
Yeah,
way he's so
in fact,
flippant with the Brotherhood guys, like the pawns move first, he says, as these guys are getting fucked up. It's like
he's not an evil king.
eh, I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes he can be, right? Sometimes he
It
can be.
depends on the world building of Magneto they
Yeah.
choose to go with.
I do have to remind myself sometimes that Magneto's image has been rehabilitated so thoroughly that I forget that there are some comic runs where he is just like this a little bit.
Ah,
But it is definitely
But this
not a preferred version of the character. Even by the time this movie came out, it was not a preferred version of the character. And it is not it's still just bad writing. It's still just like he is not being the intelligent calculating Magneto that we actually enjoy. He is being quite stupid and he is causing his own downfall through this stupidity.
Well, and technically this movie is still a sequel to X-Men 2, and once again, the Magneto in that movie is very different from this one.
Him and Raven actually seem
Yeah.
close. The idea that he would abandon her like that and that she would immediately double cross him
I don't buy
afterwards
that.
is yeah, you don't buy it for a second.
not.
No.
Yeah.
I think the biggest complaint is is the fact that a lot of these characters are completely out of character. Whether they've been shelled out to be basically a whole of what they used to be, or just the fact that the decisions they're making in comparison to the other movies is like makes no freaking sense at all.
And the issue too is that unlike the other movies, right, where it was either just a one-off or or you have like a case with Blade where it's like, well, there weren't really characters in Blade 1, right? They're like
Yeah.
they
So they
weren't
have more
yeah,
wiggle room.
yeah,
There's
but
like two main good guys.
yeah, but in this one there's a large cast of actually pretty well developed characters that you understand. And so when the movie shits the bed with them and it clearly just
It's
has no
grating.
idea, it's incredibly grating. It's incredibly noticeable
Yeah.
because you have a baseline, even with the shitty ones like Scott. It's like you have a baseline for kind of how they're supposed to be written, and then the movie doesn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and the thing is the other movies had this camaraderie between everyone, and this one is like there is none of that.
Absolutely no. Absolutely
Like,
none.
and that's the whole point of X-Men is camaraderie.
They are a team. They are
They
a
are
messy
together. They're a
polycule.
team, and they
They
just
are
turned everyone into a
they're-
freaking Hilo agent here.
Yeah. It's a fucking soap opera.
Fighting
Like
with
half of them are
themselves.
related. Like it's a whole. They're like they're characters at the very least. They have personalities and they are intelligent people who have interesting, but they have interesting things to say. They're intelligently written at the very least. They have an internal logic to them. Some of them are dumbasses, but you understand the dumbassery, right?
Of course.
Where here it is just it after a while just gives you a headache, right? It's one of those where even if at the time it's one of those like dumb action movies where at the time you can have some amount of fun, but the second you step back from it you're just like, wait a minute, none of that was good actually. Wait a minute. I feel like I have the most to talk about The Cure, though, is the thing. Like, I have so many notes about The Cure. I have so many notes about it and about all the metaphors going on here, because this is definitely... Okay, I'll give Brett Ratner some credit. They definitely understood the queer metaphor that the first two movies, and especially the second one... One second. Sorry.
Knock, knock. All good.
Alrighty. Well, then suppose we prattle on about some random nothing.
It's okay. She's just getting a visit from Juggernaut.
On the Juggernaut, bitch.
Boom. Right through
Ironically
10
enough,
balls.
ironically enough, he was one of the more bearable parts of the movie because there was an ironicness to it.
Yes, and it was also, referencing, I guess, memes at the time, which is, always great.
What?
Wait, was that a meme back then? I'm the
Meme? What
Juggernaut,
meme?
bitch.
I'm the
Yes.
What?
Prior to
This movie made
Last
it a meme.
Stand.
What?
Yeah.
Quickly, where do you think
I
the
thought it
meme
was
came from?
Okay, well, I don't know. I didn't know if it was the first rendition.
It was. It was
Okay.
famously really stupid.
I was making a joke that you were getting visited by Juggernaut.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Okay, so the queer metaphor of the first two movies, especially the second one, goes basically from subtext to text, more or less, right? So in movie 2, right, Bobby has a kind of coming out scene with his parents that is honestly a lot of fun and really subtle. But in this one, there is not just that, but also there is the whole trans metaphor of Angel, as well as the whole conversion therapy cure metaphor. And
especially with his dad.
There's so much to unpack with all of this. One, I kind of love, but also find that Angel self-harm scene to be... It's so uncomfortable, but also I do actually quite love it. Like, it's uncomfortable in all the right ways.
That part actually Loki kind of engaged me.
It's very powerful. Like, and a lot of people do take Angel Warren as a trans metaphor, in that he has to like bind down his wings, right? He's cutting off the wings, trying to cut off the wings at one point. It's there. It is there. It is there to look at and there to speculate on, for sure. And
it is also there to fly.
It's also there for beautiful shots of him being a free bird. Oh wait. Also, I got this note here. I think I forgot actually when I started watching the movie that Jean died, because I was like, oh shit, yeah, that happened last film. I just forgot about that. I blocked out the last 5 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, no, she was like dead or something. We all was just like, yeah, she's coming back, right?
We get introduced to Kitty Pryde, as played by Elliot Page. Gonna just make it very clear, if anyone dead names Elliot Page, I'm blocking you. And also Beast shows up in this one as like being a former...
He's like some government dude.
Yeah, he was a former
X-Men. I got one thing to say about Elliot Page. If you dead name Elliot Page, we'll make you a dead
Haha. Also, the whole thing with Elliot Page, the whole thing with Kitty and Bobby is so fucking funny in the context of Elliot Page, and also in the context that Bobby is gay now, was revealed as gay. Like,
the radar was going
recently.
off for the both of them.
Yeah, they both Rogue. They're stuck in the middle while these two are figuring themselves out. poor Rogue. Like, Rogue, honey, it's not about not being able to touch you. Like, there's some other shit going on here you don't know yet.
Oh, it's so funny. It just cosmically
Very funny.
works.
Cosmically hilarious. But yeah, we get Beast in this movie. And he is unfairly fine. He's unfairly I became a degenerate when I saw Beast in this film. I was just like,
I'll be honest, I did not react to him in the slightest. I
uh,
think my brain just doesn't work like that.
he's listen, listen.
You have my
He's
ears.
fine. One, he wears a suit that actually fits. Two, he's just incredibly fine. Like, I really like I don't just I can't I have nothing wholesome to say.
I see those fan fiction tabs open right now.
I have nothing wholesome to say.
You know, if I had your eyes, I probably would think the same. Because if I just like mentally invert the gender, it's just like
You're
I
like
see it.
you're like, okay, a 6 foot
Yeah,
tall,
I see it.
I see it, just
muscly
not for
blue
me.
furry man who's also very intelligent and kind and would fix me.
Again, I see it.
Yup. Oh my god. I just came across this one note. Oh no. Remember when they were calling Mystique Raven and she said, I don't answer to my slave name?
My slave name.
And I had to pause and be like, you are a whole ass white woman. Do not be saying this. Do not
This
be
felt like
saying this.
appropriation.
You are a whole ass white woman. Please quiet yourself. Like, oh my god. Holy shit. It was one of those things where I was like, oh gosh, I wish they had the vocabulary of dead name at the time because that would have been much more apt, especially for
It would have
Mystique.
been.
Since Mystique is also like pretty transcoded character. A
A shapeshifter? Allegory for weird gender fuckery?
shapeshifter who conceived a child as a man. Who wouldn't,
Loki?
reverse Loki, actually. Reverse Loki.
Yes. I don't know if I'll appropriate to invoke him.
I was told recently that she was Sherlock Holmes in Marvel canon. Did you know this?
No, not in the slightest.
But yeah, it was kind of disappointing. Sucks that they didn't have the vocabulary at the time of dead name. That would have been perfect. But instead we got what we got and I cringed so hard I nearly shut up the movie right there. But I had to keep going. I had to keep going. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, during that part I was kind of thinking like, damn, I really wish Lily was here. She'd have a field day.
Yeah, I would have had a conniption.
Oh yeah.
I did have a conniption. I absolutely did. Okay, so finally to the point, to the like notes I have about the cure. So mythologizing of mutants. This is where the queer metaphor starts to take center stage and goes from subtext to text, right? So you have Warren's dad there talking about how these mutants are poor individuals and afflicted with a disease, which is like very similar to how, you know, supposedly well-meaning homophobes will talk about gay people, saying that, you know, they're just, or trans people saying they're just mentally ill, right? We just, you know, we need to find
it's just
out.
a fake direction.
This or that, and this has led to a lot of really, really horrible things, chiefly of which being conversion therapy, something that is still perfectly legal in like over half of all states in the United States here. Usually involves psychological and physical torture, maiming, etc., etc., etc. The rates of trauma from conversion therapy such as this are really high. Going through conversion therapy basically doubles your risk of suicide. I think they said like 27% of like queer people. The study was specifically on LGB, so
It's
not trans
literally-
people. The suicide attempt rate was like 27%, more than
It's
1 in
literally
5.
cruel and unusual punishment.
1 in 4. I
I'm
mean,
sorry. Criminals are
cruel.
treated better.
It is cruel and unusual punishment. There is a very interesting video by Philosophy Tube talking about conversion therapy, with her attempting with her making attempts currently to organize to try and make it illegal in the United Kingdom, for example. Hearing about it made me actually sick. Yay! It's way worse. Whatever you're assume, whatever mentally you'd assume
It's
that it's
worse.
like, it's worse.
It's worse.
Worse. Um,
In
Warren's
fact, if you want a good
Wolverine in the
example
X-Men
of
series, Warren's
conversion
dad has his
camps,
wings amputated. Yet Warren's dad is a piece of shit in most adaptations. The fact that this one even attempts to make him come across as a little bit well-meaning makes me judge it heavily.
yeah. Also, I just remembered something I should bring up. If you wanted a good example of conversion camps, look at South Park. They had an episode with Butters.
Yeah, honestly, that was even one of the milder. That's like a milder example. Genuinely.
Didn't like 3 people kill themselves in that episode?
Yep. I said what I said.
Damn.
I
Damn.
absolutely said what I said.
You know, I believe it.
Yep. To make things very clear, the best outcomes for gay and trans individuals come from letting them live their lives and making their own decisions. And so to make that metaphor of
That's
the
horrible.
cure as this is, well, it's a choice, especially since the other metaphor that people usually point to is cochlear implants, which is a very, very, very different discussion.
Yeah, cochlear implants. I know the cochlear is like an ear thing. Isn't that for like stability, like balance?
No. A cochlear
No?
implant is an implant that is okay. So basically, how it is, right, is that it's so you need to have brain surgery to get it. They like
Ah,
basically, I don't know if there's like a less invasive way, but back when I was learning about it, how they did, right, they like basically cut out a panel of your skull and then they like put an implant in your brain and then it connected to a device which basically gave you the ability to hear. If you are deaf, you can now hear.
oh, okay.
Now the thing is that it's controversial for a few reasons. One, it's not like a cure to deafness, really. The effectiveness tends to be heaviest with either young children, which, of course, doing very invasive brain surgery on young children is
Always risky.
always
Yeah.
risky and always controversial. And adults who were deafened recently, like in an accident or disease or something. The key is that you need to be either have the like part of your brain that processes sound and language, either it needs to be at the right stage where it's still like going to be developing, or it needs to have already developed. And if neither of those things take place, the benefits can be limited a lot of the times. You are not going to turn a deaf adult into a hearing person by doing that. Like it's not going to happen. Now within deaf culture, because deafness there is actually a culture associated with deafness who have their own unique culture, their own, you know, their own communities, etc., etc., etc. It's very controversial because a lot of them view it as basically erasure, right? There's nothing wrong with them, and rather than doing this, they would much, which is a very invasive, very expensive procedure. They would, rather just have it where society accommodated them, which, yeah,
Yeah.
fair,
Which,
incredibly.
yeah, I haven't exactly gone too much into the discussion of it, but I have heard similar talk about, uh, is it better to show depictions of working through it or curing it, specifically in tabletop fantasy circles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Now,
because I remember a bunch of people got pissy about
yeah.
fantasy wheelchairs. Sorry,
Yeah,
go on.
yeah. Now this is one of those things, right, where it's like there is room for reasonable discussion here. Right, there's absolutely room for reasonable discussion here, which is that this is a essentially a prosthetic of sorts, which has its places, which people should have their own autonomy as to whether they choose whether they want to use it or not, which just has its uses in certain cases, right? No one should ever feel pressured to get one or to even get one for their child if such a case happens. But for some people, it is absolutely the right move, and they are happier to have done it.
Mhm.
Now, the fact that those are the two those are the fact that those are the two things that this metaphor is driving from, like that those are the two things it's
Already
drawing
not a good
from.
sign.
Not a good sign, because one is something that literally kills people, and the other one is like a somewhat controversial medical device that has its uses. And they keep on using the language, talking about it like it's conversion therapy, when in reality, it's more of a cochlear implant. And the fact that they're mixing those two things, to me, says that whoever wrote this did not understand either of them very well.
To be fair, I don't think they understood in general. End of sentence.
No, they didn't. But yeah, they're both issues with a lot of nuance behind them. Well, the cochlear implant especially. Maybe less nuance with the conversion therapy, because it's a pretty hard line. There's not like a case where conversion therapy is for the best ever. But like you have, and the thing is that the movie then contrives cases. It contrives a case with Rogue and with Jean here, because Rogue in the comics never does that, right? She ends like currently she actually is like currently in the comics she was able to get over the no touch thing, basically. So her and Gambit fuck like rabbits constantly. Right, but also
That
even
tracks.
I mean, I
that,
don't blame her.
oh yeah, but also just even beyond that, a lot of her arc, she has a lot of angst over not being able to touch Gambit. But the fact is that the emotional fulfillment that she gets from him before even any of the no touch thing gets lifted, is a lot of why they work. Right, and also
And
of
it's
course
meaningful.
and of course the drama behind, like, oh, you're so in love with this person, but you can't touch them, and also this person who loves you is such a fucking fiend for it that he's just like, no, it's fine, no.
He represents me. I'm okay with a mild case of death if it's for a baddie.
Damn, it's so fucking real.
He's so real for that.
So real for that. God,
He
I love
is.
him. God, we all love Gambit. We all love Gambit
do.
so much.
We do.
The perfect man, truly.
Gambit's a real one.
Real. Oh yes.
We all have a little bit of Gambit in us.
Or
A
we
little bit.
want a little bit of Gambit. But so in between like Rogue's plot basically being derailed for the sake of elevating this cure, and Jean's everything, it very much feels like the plot is kind of just contriving drama here, trying to two sides it when really it never should have been, right? Even just the way that they have the kid, where it's like they're almost implying, they kind of imply that like the kid, like they're experimenting on this kid, right? Like
That seems to be the
like
implication.
unethical experimentation.
Yeah.
There's literally no reason why this kid can't just like live a normal life, but instead he's like in a lab. They even like do like a whole like dramatic sting when the scientist that was experimenting on him gets killed, and I was like, why should I feel bad for her? I was literally just like,
Yeah.
why should I feel bad for her at all?
Yeah.
Right, like
I mean,
It's like I felt zero empathy towards some of them, I'll be honest.
I mean, the sad part is in history, usually they'll experiment on people that they deem that they don't view as full-on people.
yeah.
So
It-
that's kind of maybe like quote unquote
But
what they're kind of highlighting.
But I mean, my confusion though is that it seems like that's actually not what they're highlighting. It seems like the intention was almost that they were being like, these cure guys are well-meaning, they're just trying to do right, it's like, meanwhile the text is like they're experimenting on this child, and they're doing this horrible thing, and they're doing an act of genocide,
Yeah.
essentially.
There's
they're both sizing
like
it in a way that makes no
the-
fucking sense.
all the facts surrounding it. No,
They're
that
both
doesn't-
sizing it when it would have been better off if they just stuck with one of the metaphors, just rolled with it, and if it was like framed just straightforwardly as an act of genocide, if they did focus on how the kid was being mistreated which, you know, is like a theme in X-Men. That's like a thing that happens a lot. You know, they experiment on mutants. It happens. Would have been way better. Even at the end scene, the end action scene, one of the first things that I really thought of when I saw it was like, why are the X-Men trying to save the people at this facility? In any other X-Men thing, they'd be the one raiding it. Right? Like, absolutely,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
This is
no.
a private this is a
Yeah.
private
Those
company
private
facility
company
Yeah, they
has
would
run
absolutely be raiding
run
it,
child.
by
yeah.
Warren's fuck ass dad,
Yeah, no, you're right on
Oh,
that
damn,
one.
I just remembered
experimenting on
Warren
a
saved
mutant
him.
child.
Yeah, they would be the one totally like.
They'd be the ones
Yeah,
They
raiding
would
it. They
SWAT
wouldn't
it.
be
They would
trying to
SWAT it.
protect him. Like it was just, I felt like it was in Bizarro world, but also it just to me was indicative of just the laziest kind of X-Men writing, where Magneto is just this crazy nonsensical extremist made more extreme by plot contrivances because we don't want his ideology making too much sense, and the X-Men are stupid fucking centrists that functionally believe in nothing.
Oh, we need more Malcolm X, man. Scott.
That was what was missing. That was what was missing
Yeah.
for sure.
Also,
For sure.
that was a terrible pun on my end.
But like, no, yeah, the metaphor's apt. There's been the comparison's been made. But so
Oh yeah, I
that's
definitely
also my reason number 155 as to why Scott Summers should be black. Scott Summers
valid.
Scott Summers should be black. I believe this very firmly.
If it wasn't for the queerness, he'd be a little milk toast.
Yeah. Come on, you gotta either make him black or trans. Like, you know, I understand getting away with both. Hard in today's climate. Hard. So just do one
Mhm.
at least, please. For me.
As a treat.
Actually,
On
genuinely, I'm
Pride
trying to
Month.
think if I've seen that in any media. I don't think I have.
Seen
Well,
like a black trans character.
Yeah.
Oh, like maybe like Pose. That's like it. Really. It's like really really rare.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking. I was like, man, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, outside of like maybe some indie movies occasionally, right?
Mhm.
You know, like really like small like independent creators. It's like, yeah, it basically never happens. It fucking sucks. I'm gonna get depressed.
Oh.
Something whiteness is considered the default. Whatever. Um, like, and honestly, so many of my notes honestly are dedicated to like just more reasons as to why these two warring metaphors just are not working. There's so many cases in which it just is really highlighted of just, you know, like Jean has her crash out, metaphor gets messier, Rogue's whole love triangle with Bobby and Kitty gets even messier yet. Just everything with the protests and everything with Storm, it just gets tiring after a while. And there's also the thing too, I get really annoyed because people will because of this movie, people will bring up Storm as almost talk about her as if she's a hypocrite, right? Saying that like, oh yeah, you wouldn't want to cure her because you control the weather and you look like you look like
You are
yeah,
great compared to
you look like
Toad.
that. Yeah, yeah. You know, compare that to Toad or Rogue, who kills everyone she touches, and it's like it's because of this fuck ass movie that's why they talk about that a lot. Where it's like,
Mhm.
where can compare this to the Storm of movie 2, where her and Nightcrawler are having a genuine conversation about like what it is to pass and what it is to feel free and comfortable in your own skin and not feel afraid and or angry or even just sometimes like how the anger is all you can hold on to. The nuance of those different conversations with her and Kurt and Mystique, just night and fucking day, versus how incredibly simplified it comes across in this movie, and as a result how incredibly entitled she comes across.
Which honestly does not fit for her character in more ways than
No,
one.
not at
No.
all.
No.
Not even a little. Oh my god.
Once again, a lot of people have just been reduced to plot devices, and
Yeah.
Kinda.
no,
It's just like frustrating, right? That's what this movie is at the end of
they
the day.
they
It's
just
like
Yeah.
gutted
yeah.
they gutted the characters, and it really shows in the movie. That's like that was my biggest problem with this
Yeah.
movie.
It's like just good enough where you can kind of see like the potential, like some potential here, but
Yeah,
then they
I
just
liked the
fumble it at
base
like
concept.
at every turn they fumble it, right? Just like
It's a very interesting, like, foundational concept. It's just in execution and what they did, it
I
just
mean,
did not
yeah,
hold.
the X-Men have interesting things to be related to, and here they do the lamest things.
no, I think sadly also because of this movie, people actually have this impression that like the X-Men metaphor can't work, right? And I in my it can, just not like this. Just not like this.
Like,
Yeah.
it's still, like, a competent movie. It's not the worst movie we've seen, but
No, it's like a director
it
with
doesn't
actual
sell the
hits under his
commentary.
belt.
Yeah.
You know, even with the dumbest of even with the dumbest of action moments, you're still like, well, it's pretty cool, right? And the bridge scene, it's stupid, but you're like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's memorable.
Yeah.
None of the
Yeah, I
action
mean,
scenes
the
ever made
action
me
scene
groan.
There's
Usually
a
they're like
difference
tense
between a
and fun.
cool there's a difference between a cool set piece and an actual digestible story.
Yeah, the whole scene with Kitty, going to chase after the Cure kid, then Juggernaut's chasing after her is like cool. It's
Mhm.
cool. It's energetic. It's
A nice
exciting.
set piece.
She
Yeah.
she uses
And
a
I
bit
find it
of
funny.
uses her brain to evade him, and then it gets ruined by like I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, and you're just like, come
You mean
on,
elevated?
come on.
I mean, I appreciate comic relief, even if it's stupid.
It was so stupid. I mean that's the thing, right? Like these movies 1 and 2 were a lot of things, but they weren't stupid, right? Right? Like, am I
Hold
crazy?
on. I'm mentally trying to go through the films. Nah.
They weren't. There were a lot of things. They were not stupid. I mean, there was like a like what happens when a toad gets struck by lightning. That was dumb. That was dumb. But like,
The same as everything else.
yeah. But like, there were honestly like more than a few moments like that that just kind of made me groan, and it just what's even left to say at this point? It just doesn't work, right? Like to the point where people ignore that this one happened. To the point where like the filmmakers for the future X-Men films like to ignore that this happened. Basically the only one that like there's like two I'll
Acknowledged.
say that acknowledge it directly. Days of Future Past, but still only like kinda. And Wolverine Adventures in Japan. It's just called Wolverine, but I gotta call it something else.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, those are the only two that
I
acknowledge it whatsoever.
Japanese swords, two
Yeah,
hands. I
yeah,
remember it.
yeah. Those are the only ones that acknowledge it whatsoever. And the thing is that like even then, well, Wolverine acknowledges the whole death of Jean thing. That's like a big. That's like his angst for that movie. Days of Future Past seems to kind of invent its own like future bad blah. You can kind of ignore this one, but it's implied. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of the other movies will take some things like Elliot Page as Kitty Pryde, Beast existing, things like that. There are things
Beast
that
does
carry over.
exist.
Beast does exist and he's very fine. Certain things carry over, like characters. I think for the most part, the new characters that were introduced were like pretty good, you know. So, and if
Mm.
anything, I was just surprised. I kept on expecting them to appear in the first two because I'm like, I remember those guys. They were like good in those roles. But no, they're not until this one. I was like, wow, surprising, genuinely. Because I have such a memory of this movie just being bad.
Yeah.
But a
I mean,
lot of
despite
the
it
other
being
elements are coming
bad,
out.
I feel like it could have been worse. It
I still hated
was
Jean's character in this movie.
A lot of the other
no,
elements are
yeah.
thrown out. Logan, that movie completely disregards it, like entirely. Um, like uh there's another Dark Phoenix movie actually that will be coming later. That one completely ignores everything from this one, including actually putting back the sci-fi elements in from the comics, having it be like a cosmic force that infects her that like causes awakening.
I just realized, did we ever talk about yeah, fuck spoilers, Professor
What?
X dying?
Oh
We ever
no.
talk about that?
Oh no, yes I
No?
did. I did in reference to Magneto being fucking stupid, thinking it's like, ah, Jean just killed him after I goaded her on to do it. I'm gonna go try and control her power and probably nothing bad will happen to me.
Ah, yes, of course, of course.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
first he doesn't
He-
die, but
It's such a stupid
he's had
lane of logic.
yeah.
he's had fake out deaths before. This was not it, Chief.
Did you not see the after credit scene?
No, I saw Magneto move the
Mm.
chess piece. I was like, that's all I need.
Charles is alive.
Oh,
Of course
I
he is.
didn't care to watch
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
end.
Yeah, he's alive. They there was an after credit scene where he sees Moira McTaggart as like a doctor taking care of him, and he's alive.
By the way, his
Yeah,
assumed death was kind of
who
stupid
cares?
of the entire scene.
Who cares? I certainly don't.
Exactly. I'm
Charles's
glad I
whole
never have
existence
to
in this.
watch another X-Men movie again.
I mean, the thing is,
Wait a second.
I actually like morally gray Charles. I actually think Charles is at his best when he's being morally gray because he is just kind of a fucked up little guy in a lot of ways. Like he does
He
just
does a lot of
manipulate his
brain
students.
fuckery.
Yeah, he
Oh
just
Yeah.
does
yeah.
brain fuckery with his students all the time in order to like for their own good for one reason or another, whether it be like blocking trauma or blocking powers for one reason or another, or even just like trying to influence them in a certain way. It's like the whole reason why Scott in the comics kills him at a certain point. He gets better. They get over
Of
it.
course he does.
But like he's kind of a fucked up little guy. But the issue is that he was not always written that way. And so you have a professor who like a lot of times is presented as like a pretty affable, kind fellow, right? He's played by Patrick Stewart in this. He
Yeah.
comes across as a sweetheart for the most part. The Professor X from the reboot movies even more so. Henry McAvoy, I think, forgetting his name. I'll have to double check. No. Let me see. Professor X actor. Did I get the name wrong? James McAvoy. Okay, I was a little off. James McAvoy. Is like a complete sweetie. But then they also want to add in these like later comic elements where he's like kind of morally gray and kind of Machiavellian and doing all these fucked up things like influencing people's minds. And it's like you can't have it both ways, guys. You can't have it both ways. You can't both have him be a kind, affable, trustworthy fellow, genuinely, and then also have it where he is brainwashing his students, right? Those
No.
two
Hmm.
things
No.
don't
Are
go
at
together,
odds.
and it comes across as apologism a lot of the times is the issue, or at worst just wildly out of character, right?
Yeah.
Even
And
97, I think
I
sometimes
just
gets
feel
a
like
little.
someone with that kind of power, you would have a very hard time of not making them morally gray.
I mean, that is the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Even X-Men 97 I think gets it a little shaky where it's like once he seems to be kind of the whole end scene with him fucking with Magneto's mind in order to stop him from doing big thing just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, especially since they really do like they really do seem to be trying to push like a kindly professor in that one. So it's like, hey, what are we going at here? Why are we trying to have our cake and eat it too here a little bit?
At the end
Yeah.
of the day, I definitely think that this movie's confused, had potential. Eh, it's watchable,
Yeah.
which is better than a few other of these. Like, if someone were to put this on as like a second screen experience at like a house party or something, I would not be offended.
I wasn't like actively wanting to
Repulsed.
die.
Yeah.
Right? Like if that
Wow, the bar is so fucking low.
so we watched Elektra like very recently, right? And even Fantastic Four, which is like maybe one of the better ones, and as far as these mediocre ones go, it was just kind of boring. Was the issue, right? This is not boring, at least, right? At least
No,
it's not
I
boring.
No,
mean,
no, no.
it is not. That is one of the few good things we can
Yeah.
say.
Trying to look through my notes here to see what else I have to say. Oh, there was someone I unironically said hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. That was insane. Oh yeah, Warren just
I
kind of
don't
shows up
remember
at the
that one.
mansion at one point. Oh, the context of the hell hath no fury like a woman scorned was the president talking about Mystique ratting on Magneto after he left her.
I forget. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Warren kind of just showing up at the mansion. This movie feels like chunks of it were taken out. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Right, like in between Scott's
I
death
would not
scene
be. I
being
would not be
missing
surprised if
and
that
Warren
happened.
just
Yeah.
spawning in. Warren's story feels very truncated, despite the fact that he seems so central to this movie in so many ways. Right, he seems like in a lot of ways the most important character to the Cure subplot side.
And
Like
yet he's like not really focused on that much, is he?
not even a little. Warren is one of those characters that gets really overlooked in adaptations, which is a shame since he's genuinely really
Cool
cool.
Angel Man.
Yeah, one aesthetically he's just really neat. He's one of the original he's one of the like founding X-Men. So the fact that he gets shafted and oftentimes in canon is not even a part of the team half the time fucking sucks.
Mm.
And two, his story is really interesting. Like it has a really similar story to Sunspot, honestly, in '97, right? Where he like growing up in a really rich, influential family, and then is rejected hard with his father being honestly a lot worse than Sunspot's mom. In that one, like Sattel pointed out, his dad literally had his wings amputated in one of the series, so that fucking sucks. Um, like he's basically like the rich kid who got abused so badly he ran away one day. Um, and like that he gets overlooked so much is just kind of sad, right? It feels like they maybe weren't confident enough to handle a subject matter like that. When it's like, if you are really coming at the X-Men with the idea of this metaphor, with the idea of them as like at, like marginalized people, at-risk youths, all this, Warren is a very good character to pull up for that, genuinely. Warren and Scott. I'm on my Scott crusade again. So the fact that both of them very
Oh,
consistently get shafted is very sad to me. Very sad. Right, like instead people are so focused on the soap opera stuff, which I do love the soap opera stuff. It's fun, but yeah, I thought this, I like X-Men too when it's kind of trying to say a little bit more with its story. This is trying and failing, I guess. But yeah.
X2 definitely felt like it said a lot more.
It did. Where this one, it feels like, you know what would have been perfect if they just took the two movies that are so clearly glued together and just separated them, right? Just had a movie just all about a cure where we were just focused entirely on like Warren and Rogue, and maybe like Warren and Rogue became friends, and like Bobby is questioning some things about himself in the background, and just focus on one of the plots and the whole Worthington Labs and them rescuing the kid and all those things, and just focus on that story individually, right? And then just having a separate Dark Phoenix movie. Jean comes back and,
Didn't they attempt that?
actually, yeah, but that was bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
was
that was
gonna
bad.
say,
Yeah, but that
do
was
you
real
really have
bad.
confidence it would have been
Yeah, but
good?
that was real bad. Yeah, it was really bad for different
Uh,
reasons. We'll get there, like in probably a
oh
year or
no.
so. Yeah.
Oh no.
Um, just doing it separate, focusing on Jean and Scott's relationship. Honestly, even in that one, Jean and Scott is like, well, at least they're not like fucking around doing Jean X Logan, because Logan is not in that one. Um, but like D-Neck Scott hardly has any focus whatsoever in that. Like, it's just not a factor. Yeah, I don't know. I'm done. I'm tired. I wish we
That's
were
fair.
watching anything else. Um,
I wish we could have said more good things, but
it's competent in mostly boring ways, and that the acting's good, the directing is
I mean,
decent, the
we didn't have to
acting's
set the
Fine
departments
fun.
on fire.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I never felt like putting it at 2x
Ranking.
speed until we got to the end. Honestly, where I was like, let's wrap it up. You know.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Let me. Okay. I'm gonna screen share the rankings. I figured out how to do that. Okay. Here we go.
Nice.
Here we go. Here we go. I might have to. I'm gonna have to put this in front of us actually, so we can see. So we can see it all. Okay. 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 Can you guys? If you guys look at the stream, you guys can see. You guys can see the ranking.
Yeah.
Do you want me to share it on Discord as well, or can you see?
This is
I'm
fine.
waiting for it to change. Okay, there it goes. It changed.
Okay.
Because there's a delay.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the rankings so far, 1 through 14.
I kind of want to put it above Blade 2, below Fantastic Four.
That was my
That
instinct as
feels-
well. But
Yeah,
granted,
that
Fantastic
feels
Four,
correct.
Fantastic Four was much more boring, right? But it was, it
I
had.
feel like it wasn't as messy.
I didn't get
Wasn't as
angry at any given time.
Yeah.
So that is what, honestly, the only debate I was having in my head is if it's below or above Fantastic Four. But X-Men Last Stand 2005, and I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. The comma is important.
Bitch. Yes. All
Okay.
caps.
There
Very
is a
important.
pause.
Okay, these are the rankings so far. Well,
Mm.
how much it fell from number 3 to number 9. Wow. That's went from like well into the good section to just barely scraping it out of mediocre land.
Yeah.
Barely
I
scraping
love
it
how
into
we
mediocre
could
land,
just see
honestly.
our. Yeah, I love how you could just see the gradient of quality now. We have a big enough sample size where we can actually see differences.
Yeah, we can like
Honestly,
scale these now.
the fact that we have anything below Captain America theatrical cut
Says
crazy.
so much.
Genuinely
it just says so
surprised.
much.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm kind of wondering how much of theatrical cut.
I mean, Electra's a
from the
15-year difference.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I wonder how much of it might have been tainted with us joking the whole way through Captain America.
I mean, it was
Because honestly, I felt like we had an enjoyable time, at least joking and making fun, compared to
Yeah.
some of those other low ones.
Yeah, right. It was at least funny a lot of the times, and because of what happened
had
with
camp.
the director's cut, we felt bad to some extent as well.
Yeah.
So it's like it was once again the difference between Blade 2 and like, I don't know, fucking Elektra, where it's like, at least I believe that the director had some good intentions here. It just got bogged down by studio bullshit. But it's so long as I'm like, okay, someone cared about this. And of course Blade Trinity is the exact opposite, where people were actively trying to sabotage it. Okay. That's the ranking.
Hell yeah.
That's fair. I think it
Well
works.
done. Shall I give the sign off?
Yeah, we're done here.
Well then, lurkers, chatters, here for a while. I thank you all the same. This is Luck, powering off. And remember, everyone, lucky days.
And 3, 2, 1. Good
Good
night.